They are the Pelicans, but the New Orleans franchise could have been the Bull Sharks, Brass, Rougarou, which is a mythical Cajun swamp beast, and I think Charlie Sheen and his guys are out searching for it right now. Could have been the Mosquitoes or the Swamp Dogs. So, Bones, based on the alternatives, I think they nailed it by going with the Pelicans.
I do. I mean, this is a bird that survived, obviously, a lot of things that have happened down there in that region, and there's a lot of pride behind it, and I think that's why they went with it, and I think it's a pretty good choice. I like the logo, I like the color scheme, and I think the state's getting behind this team.
I do as well. It's a great color scheme. I especially like their road uniforms. I think they're one of the hotter looks in the NBA. Now, Bones, what could have been, what might have been?
Well, that's the interesting thing. The fact that they did select the Pelicans, you know, they really wanted the Jazz. That's their initial thought, was like, let's try and get the Jazz name back. So we thought if that was to happen and the Pelicans were the Jazz, a bunch of other dominoes would have had to have fallen. So you get the Jazz name. Instead of the Pelicans, you get the Jazz name back down to New Orleans. So you get the old New Orleans Jazz. Pistol Pete would be proud. If that were to happen, then New Orleans, which is happening, will send the name back to Charlotte. The Bobcats lose their name. They get the Hornets back. That's happening next year. So we are going to see that come to fruition. Then Salt Lake is without a team. But why not a team in L.A. where there's not a lot of lakes? It used to be the Minneapolis Lakers.
Right.
Sends the Laker name to Salt Lake City. They become the Utah Salt Lakers.
Mm-hmm. I'm following you.
The Salt Flats. That makes a lot of sense. And then what do the Lakers do? So the Lakers now.
The purple and gold are who, Bones?
Well, after stealing Shaq, they steal the Magic name, the Magic of Hollywood, and of course their Hall of Famer, Irvin Magic Johnson. So now you have the Los Angeles Magic, and Orlando now is caught without a name. So what do? Back when Orlando was about to be a team, they were team name mascot. They had votes, and they were going to say it was going to be the Tropics, the Magic, the Juice, or the Heat. We know the Heat went to Miami, so Orlando then decides on we're going to go Jackie Moon, and we're going to take the Florida Tropics. So they changed their name. That could have happened. It sounds like a lot of fun. I think the problem's going to be with those Lakers. They'd never give up that name, would you?
No.
Not with that history.
One of the greatest brands in the world, regardless of sports, corporations. Now, I do have a question for you. You mentioned the possibility of the Orlando Magic taking the Orlando Tropics. So then what would become of the Flint Tropics?
Well, that team really doesn't exist. It's all fiction. Here's the thing is...
and so is this conversation.
The biggest thing is, can we please change the Raptors? I mean, Jurassic Park was cool, like when Newman got spit in the eye by the one dinosaur spit at him. Let's change the Raptors. The Jurassic Park theme sort of took hold of Canada at that time. I think we go back to the Huskies, 1946-47.
Nice.
1 year they had the Huskies there. They played in those retro jerseys. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but they have history there. Maybe they think about it. 2016 All-Star game in Toronto. Maybe there's no more Raptors. Maybe that becomes extinct.